Hi there, everyone. Welcome to my reading teacher. Today, I am going to read you a book that is so old. Ready how old this is? It's called The Hungry Thing by Jan Sleppen and Ann Selder. Pictures by Richard E. Martin. This book is so old, it is older than I am. How is that possible? It is true. This book was written or copyrighted in 1967, and it is falling apart. It is literally the pages. And I love this book. So I'm going to read it to you. I hope you love it too. It is a great book for phonemic awareness if you are just learning how to read. When you manipulate the sounds and you play with the phonemes in words and you move the words around, I'll tell you a great activity that goes with it that hopefully you'll have time to do. So it's called The Hungry Thing. And I decided to read it to you because eventually it's going to fall apart and I'm not going to be able to read it any longer because the pages are going to disintegrate. One morning, a hungry thing came to town. He sat on his tail. He pointed to a sign around his neck that said, "Feed me." Do you see his sign? Feed me. That's the hungry thing. The townspeople gathered around to see the hungry thing. "What would you like to eat?" asked the townspeople. "Schman cakes," answered the hungry thing. "Schman cakes?" cried the townspeople. "How do you eat them and what can they be?" Say that word with me. Schman cakes. Well, then it gets even sillier. Look at the picture here. "Why, dear me," said a wise man, "schman cakes, that's plain, are a small kind of chicken that falls with the rain." "Of course," said a cook, "schman cakes, I've read, are better to eat when you stand on your head." "I think," said a little boy, "that you're all very silly. Schman cakes sound like fan cakes. Sound like, what do you think it's going to be? Oh, see? Pancakes to me." So the townspeople gave the hungry thing some, and the hungry thing ate them all up. Then the hungry thing pointed to the sign around his neck that says, "Feed me." Oh, he's still hungry. "What would you like to eat?" asked the townspeople. "Tickles," said the hungry thing. "Tickles," said the townspeople. "How do you eat them and what can they be?" "Why, dear me," said a wise man, "tickles, you know, are curly-tailed hot dogs that grow in a row." I have never heard of that. "Of course," said the cook, "tickles taste yummy, and you giggle and laugh with 10 in your tummy." "I think," said the little boy, "that it's all very clear that tickles sound like pickles." Wait, so I said it too fast. Tickles sounds like sickles, sounds like, that's right, pickles to me. So the little boy is the one that's so smart in this book. And they gave the hungry thing some, and the hungry thing ate the pickles all up. "He's underfed," said, "have some bread," said a lady dressed in red. I love the rhyming. "It seems to me he'd like some tea," said a fellow up a tree. "A bit of rice might be nice," said a baby sucking ice. The hungry thing just shook his head and pointed to his sign that said, "Feed me." And the townspeople tried again. "What would you like to eat?" asked the townspeople. "Feet loaf," answered the hungry thing. "Feet loaf," cried the townspeople. "How do you eat it and what can it be?" "Oh, I have a guess. This is something my husband likes to eat." "Not feet loaf, though." "Why, dear me," said the wise man, "feet loaf, let's see. It's a kind of shoe pudding that grows on a tree." "Of course," said the cook, "feet loaf tastes sweet, and it's eaten by kings when they dine in bare feet." "I think," said the little boy, "that you all ought to know that feet loaf sounds like beet loaf, sounds like, can you think of it? Meatloaf to me." So the townspeople gave the hungry thing some, and the hungry thing ate it all up. He again pointed to his sign that said, "Feed me." And what would you like to eat?" said the townspeople. "Hookies," answered the hungry thing. What could it be? "Hookies," said the townspeople. "How do you eat them and what can they be?" "Hookies," said the wise man, "are known in far lands as a special spaghetti to eat holding hands." "Hookies," said the cook, "are a party dish to serve to a guest that isn't a fish." "I think," said who's it going to be? Little boy, "that it's all very simple, that hookies sound like lookies, sound like cookies to me. The townspeople gave the hungry thing some, and he ate them all up. Then he got to his feet. He smiled. He patted his mouth on a line of laundry. He turned around 3 times. Okay, is he going to be done? Is it true he's all through? Asked a lady dressed in blue. Let's all try to say goodbye, said a man with a can. Come again, said some men. But the hungry thing just sat down again. He pointed to his sign that said, Feed me. What do you want to eat? Asked the townspeople. Gollypops, said the hungry thing. Gollypops, cried the townspeople. How do you eat them, and what can they be? Oh, dear me, said a wise man. Gollypops are new. They are cereal shaped like toys, and they're sugar coated too. Children, said the cook, buy them by the dozens and trade off the box tops with classmates and cousins. I think, said the little boy, that you all ought to hear that Gollypop sounds like Dolly Pops. Sounds like, do you know what it is? Lollipops to me. So the townspeople gave the hungry thing some, and the hungry thing ate them all up. And he pointed to his sign that said, Oh, please, said the townspeople, we've been here all day. Isn't there a quicker way? I think, said the boy, that there is. The boy's so smart. Have some noodles, said the little boy. The little boy asked the hungry thing, and the hungry thing just shook his head. So he said, Have some noodles. No. Oh, excuse me. I meant to say foodles. And the hungry thing smiled and he ate them all up. So look carefully at the picture. There's the little boy feeding the hungry thing, and he knows how to do it now. Just look, said the cook. Let's all try, was the cry. So they all got busy. Have some smello. They gave him jello. Have some thread. They gave him bread. Have a banana. They gave him a banana. The hungry thing ate and ate, and he looked very full. Is there anything more we can give you? The townspeople wanted to know. The hungry thing politely covered a hiccup. He thought for a while, and then he said, Ready? Boop with a smacker. Right there. Boop with a smacker. Boop with a smacker, boop with a smacker. What is that? The townspeople asked. The boy whispered to the wise man. The wise man whispered to the cook. And the cook gave the hungry thing soup with a cracker. The hungry thing ate them all up. He smiled. He got to his feet. He wiped his mouth on the cook's hat. Just as he left, he turned his sign around and it said in big letters, Thank you. They finally gave the hungry thing everything that he needed. What a fun book. So when you play with sounds, you're switching the first phoneme in the word. So smello turned out to be jello and lookies ended up being cookies. So you could try it yourself. So instead of pizza, if you took the p sound away, could it be pizza and add a W? Or pizza, put a TH sound. So you can do your own silly words, especially food words, just like the hungry thing. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this book, give me a thumbs up and please leave a comment below. Thanks for listening.